Envision yourself spawning into a world, but instead of being human, you had to survive 100 days as HEROBRINE. This is no ordinary world. This planet is swarming with alien-like creatures who crave your blood. Can I defeat these vicious monsters? And what special abilities will I have? Stay tuned to find out. Also, if you're going to enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to be a part of the team. And just like that, our journey begins now. On day 1, I noticed I spawned on the edge of an island. Hopefully there's no mysterious creatures on here. Anyways, I went ahead and farmed some trees to get some supplies, and I went ahead and created my HEROBRINE's wooden blade. As you guys can see, every hit with this HEROBRINE sword actually lights them on fire. So this is like a non-enchanted fire aspect sword. That's pretty awesome. I then gathered some sugarcane, a bunch of watermelons, and gathered some stone to create my HEROBRINE stone sword. And when you shift right click, as you can see, I can call upon lightning strikes. That is overpowered. If the stone HEROBRINE sword is that good, imagine the diamond one. I then decided it would be in my best interest to explore more of this giant island. I needed to find a good place to build my base. On day 4, I found a nice little platform that I think I'm going to build my base, so I cleared that out. I then spent the remainder of day 4 gathering a bunch of sand, seeds, and sugarcane. I then spent days 5 and 6 creating HEROBRINE's base. So as you guys can see, I used the birch wood to outline the base. I smelted up some of my sand, making some glass, and I decided to use oak wood because I feel like that accents the birch wood really nicely. I dedicated days 7 to 10 to a huge mining trip. Obviously, I don't have any armor yet, so getting iron is pretty essential, so we hit the mines. Upon entry, I ended up finding an 8 vein of iron, and I got jumped by a single zombie. What are you doing, bro? You're not gonna kill me. After gathering some coal, I went ahead and combined all the iron that I got into the furnaces, smelted all that down, and it was time to make my full set of iron armor. I went ahead and created all of the armor I needed. I also created myself HEROBRINE's iron blade. I wonder what abilities I'm gonna get with this HEROBRINE's blade. Anyways, after finding 4 diamonds, I went ahead and created some diamond boots. Okay, let's eat this food. After crafting myself a shield, I decided to charge right into the direction of where the noise was. At the top of my screen, it said Empowered Warden, and I looked over, there was a massive Empowered Warden. This is not a regular one. I struck him with some lightning, and suddenly an iron golem appeared. Wait, did my iron HEROBRINE sword spawn in a golem? After getting launched in the air, I went all the way down to 5 hearts, and keep in mind, I don't have any health potions, so the only way I can heal is by eating food. I decided the best strategy in this fight was to try to run as much as I can and use my lightning strikes and iron golems to my advantage. After striking him once more with lightning, he then started spitting out all of this black smoke. Thank goodness that didn't hit me. And as you can see, my iron golems are really coming into effect here. They keep throwing them up and down in the air as I kite away and eat some food to regenerate. After regenerating my health with some watermelons, I decided to charge back in as the Empowered Warden's nearly dead. And with one final hit, I was able to eliminate the Empowered Warden. And on the ground, he ended up dropping a Warden's Tear. What could that be used for? I ended up finding a chest in the corner with a book, and the book read,
Zyphiel, it is your responsibility to monitor the caves and ensure not a single thing leaves alive.
It seems like I just took down Zyphiel, but who is Fury the Flame Phoenix? After a couple days of travel, I decided to head back to base and realized I must have taken a wrong turn. What is this place? As I got closer, I realized that there was some hobo-looking dude outside of a massive mansion with a ton of wolves. I wasn't sure if he was going to attack me, so I decided to come back to this later. And after a little bit more traveling, on day 13, I had finally arrived back at my base. I figured I'd spend the rest of day 13 making some farms because I literally only had 2 pieces of rotten flesh to my name. So I created a wheat farm, watermelon farm, and sugarcane farm. For the next couple days, I traveled back to that mysterious mansion we found earlier. I need to ask that guy some questions. On day 15, I arrived back at this mansion, but I didn't see him outside. But as soon as I walked up to the front door, he came out.
Hello? Excuse me, sir.
What is some peasant like you doing here?
Okay then. Sorry if I offended you. My name's Painful. What's your name?
The name is Frederick Tina, but you can call me Fred. What do you want, peasant?
Okay then. Anyways, I found this book earlier, and I was wondering if you had any information regarding Fury the Flame Phoenix?
Fury the Flame Phoenix?
Sir, relax. Okay, well, I think he needs to go for a run. I don't know what happened between him and Fury, but hopefully I can find him.
So I dedicated the next couple days into trying to find Fred. While I was traveling, I ended up running into a pack of coyotes and some wild boar. I don't know what these things were doing all the way out here. At this point, I was just really happy that I was HEROBRINE so that I can call down lightning strikes and summoning guardian golems. Without my guardian golem and lightning strikes, I probably would have been a fresh breakfast for these guys. After almost dying to wild boar and coyotes, I continued my exploration on top of a mountain. And on day 18, while I was traveling, I saw some sort of big mansion. I needed to go check this out. As I got closer, I questioned myself whether anyone lived here or if this was abandoned. I wasn't sure, but I continued my entry. I went up the first flight of stairs and it just seemed to be an empty room. I needed to investigate more of this place. There was a little balcony here, and then I went up the second flight of stairs and this room was also kind of empty, but they did have some brewing stands and there looked to be some potions, so I went ahead and borrowed some of those. Thank you very much. After going up another set of stairs, I found myself what seemed to be their netherwort farm, so of course I had to borrow that as well. After harvesting the netherwort and taking all the soul sand, I went up to the very top and I actually found some of the brewing supplies that they use to brew potions, I guess. So yeah, sorry about this guys, but I'm in desperate need of this loot. After gathering all the potion supplies from the chests and taking the brewing stands, I found a lectern and it read, Fury the Flame Phoenix is one of the most powerful beings on this planet. A man named Frederickina tried to put a stop to the endless torment that the Phoenix was causing. Not many people had the courage to put their lives on the line, but he did. Unfortunately, he wasn't strong enough to defeat it. Fred has been hunted by Fury for many decades and tries to keep a very low profile. After reading that book, it all started to make a little bit more sense why Fred was so scared of Fury. Anyways, after traveling back to base, I began creating my next design. I went ahead and cut a hole in the side of my base and started on creating an expansion. This was going to be my brewing area. It took me a couple of days to make, but I think it was well worth it. I really like the birch design that I used. It kind of matches the whole vibe of my entire house. After adding the brew slog outline, I added some glass, put my brewing stands in, and then finished off the roof. And as you can see, I think it came out pretty cool, and we also got a pretty good view of the lake. Anyways, it's time to go mining, as I really need to get some diamonds at this point. And as you can see, not too far away, I ended up finding my first cave. And over the course of 3 days, I ended up finding a ton of different ores, and of course, lots of diamonds. I ended up making all of the diamond armor and I created a diamond HEROBRINE blade. Anyways, I kept continuing exploring this cave and when I went to the bottom, I saw somebody fishing.
Wait, Fred? Don't run, I'm not gonna harm you. I just read a book and it was saying that you were the only person brave enough to try and stop Fury the Flame Phoenix.
Well, I sure tried. It's hunted me for as long as I can remember. I've been having nightmares ever since.
I know it's really hard to speak about, but I can put a stop to this thing. Here, take these diamonds and in return, all I ask is for some information of the potential whereabouts of this phoenix.
Well, you're not a peasant after all. I'll take these diamonds. When I tried hunting Fury, I traveled really far west. I ended up in a nether-like biome. Not only did I fear this phoenix, but there were other creatures that lurked in the nether-like terrain.
Well, I wish I could say I was surprised. At least I know a little bit more about the Phoenix.
Sir, are you okay? You can come back. Wait, what? Where'd he go? Okay, well, hopefully we'll find him later. I honestly don't know what's wrong with this guy.
While I was traveling back home, I ran into a little sand fox.
Hey, little one, what brings you all the way out here?
Oh, I'm a little lost.
That's okay. You can stay with me for the meantime if you want.
Wait, really? Thank you, Painful.
How did you know my name? I never even told you it.
I suppose it was just a lucky guess.
Wow, that's pretty impressive if you ask me. All right, let's get out of here.
And just like that, me and my little friend are headed back to our base. It's a good thing we found her. She probably would have died out here alone. Once I got back home, I went ahead and started creating a separate base for our little sand fox friend. I had her wait inside of the cave and I was going to surprise her with this.
Hey, come here. I've got a surprise for you, okay? I know you had to wait in there for the night, but trust me, this will be worth it. Look at this. This is actually your new home. I spent the night making it for you.
Thank you very much. So, when will you be leaving?
Well, there is a lot more exploring I need to do, but I'll try not to leave you alone for too long.
Oh, well, feel free to leave as long as you would like. I'll be okay alone.
Sweet, well I hope you like your new home and I'll hopefully see you soon.
Quick interruption, guys, it's me, Painful. I want to show you my new merchandise. Look at this stuff. This is my 500k club collection. There's t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeves. These are only available for 7 days. Link in the description below. Now that we have our new sand fox friend, I figured it'd be a good idea to put water all around our base to protect her from the flame phoenix. After surrounding my base with water, it almost looked like I lived on a moat. Anyways, I I went ahead and expanded my farms, and after expanding my farms, I ended up brewing a little bit of potions. As you can see, I got some instant health and strength potions. I then spent a couple days gathering a bunch of building supplies that I'm gonna need. I spent the next 4 days traveling really far west. As Fred mentioned, he had to go really far west into a nether-like biome to find Fury the Flame Phoenix. And on day 44, while I was exploring for this nether-like biome, I found this massive patch of grass with a bunch of floating particles on it. I wasn't sure what this was, but I knew there was only one way to find out. I jumped into it and got teleported into this massive nether-like forest.
Okay, this has gotta be where Fred found Fury the Flame Phoenix. They must have went through the portal when they started fighting. This place is really beautiful though.
And with all the materials that I farmed earlier, I went ahead and started creating a shrine in attempts to summon Fury the Flame Phoenix. I knew it was gonna be hard to get Fury's attention just wandering around in this red forest, but I figured I could potentially bribe him with some supplies. And as you can see, after 4 days of building the shrine, I went ahead and had a chest in the middle with some netherite supplies and diamonds to hopefully summon Fury. And not too long after the supplies were there, I noticed that there was these fire particles floating around. And as I turned around, I saw Fury.
Who dares to summon me?
Listen, you've been causing chaos for decades. It's time to put a stop to that once and for all.
Your confidence is cute. It's unfortunate I'll have to dispose of you.
Okay, yep, he's definitely mad. After running away a little and popping my strength potion, I charged directly at Fury the Flame Phoenix. This is probably gonna be my only opportunity to take this thing out, so we gotta make sure we do it. Since Fury doesn't take any fire damage, he decided it'd be a good idea to lay down in his own fire, knowing that I'd have to step in the fire to damage him. And after getting stuck in all the fire, I already went through 3 health potions. This is not good. I then got a good couple hits on Fury and struck him with lightning, and suddenly he flew backwards and spit a fireball at me. This fire was actually doing insane damage. I had to make sure that I didn't die, so I had to throw down some more health potions and eat some more food so I regenerate. I was taking so much damage that I literally had to use another health potion, otherwise I would have died. At this point in the fight, I was pretty worried. I was taking so much damage and I had just used my final health potion. As Fury got close, I used this as an opportunity to use my diamond golems and my HEROBRINE lightning strikes to eliminate Fury the Flame Phoenix. He ended up dropping Phoenix wings and Phoenix hide, which I'm gonna use later. Anyways, I found a chest nearby, and when I opened the book, it read,
Fury, it's important you know my little companion Nicole has been able to manipulate Painful into thinking she was lost. Once he leaves his base, she's going to make sure there's nothing left.
If that is true, then that means my base is in a lot of trouble. I need to travel all the way back right now. And on day 55, I arrived back at my base and it was in complete shambles. At this point, I honestly couldn't believe that I was manipulated by, I guess her name is Nicole. I never actually asked for her name before. The good sign is all my loot seems to still be here, but most of my base is completely griefed. So I figured I'd collect a lot of my supplies and move out. I waved goodbye to our old base, which actually was pretty awesome, and I traveled for the next 3 days to a safer location. On day 60, I found a nice flat area, which I thought would be a great place to build my next base. I spent the remainder of the day tackling down this forest. I needed to get a ton of building supplies to build this next base. After gathering a bunch of building supplies, I went ahead and outlined my entire base. This base is actually gonna look pretty awesome, and as you can see, over the course of the next 2 days, I've been just building non-stop. I unfortunately wasn't able to finish the base quite yet, but it's gonna look really good once it's finished. And on day 64, after my base has been semi-complete, I was brewing some potions, and then I looked in the distance and I saw what seemed to be Nicole. So I quickly went ahead and grabbed some insta-health potions just in case she tried to fight me, and I started charging directly at Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, get back here.
This chase was a lot longer than anticipated. She's a lot faster than she looks. And after a couple days of chasing, I went ahead and popped a strength potion as I was catching up to her, and she jumped over this tall grass area, and when I went to chase her, I fell into a trap and there was a ton of crocodiles and bulls inside.
Okay, yep, this isn't good. Okay, Diamond Golem, you got this, bro. Yes, okay. Oh my gosh, that was a lot easier than anticipated. Luckily, I had my Diamond Golem there to help me. Okay, now we gotta get out of here and hopefully figure out where Nicole went.
After digging out of that trap, I actually found Nicole running away, and by the looks of it, she doesn't know I'm following her. I decided it'd be in my best interest to follow Nicole and actually find out where she's going. And after following her, she led me to this massive mansion. What is this place?
Hey, Striker, the job is done. I led Painful into the trap, and he shouldn't be an issue anymore.
Well done. I was a little worried there for a bit. Thank you. Here's some food.
Thanks. Yum.
By the looks of things, it looks like Striker the End Colossus sent Nicole to take me out. It seems like they think I'm dead, which I can use to my advantage. After gathering that info, I decided to head back to base and set up a trap. I arrived back at base on day 71 and I wasted no time. I decided to set up this redstone contraption. And basically what I'm hoping to happen is that Nicole comes to raid my base as she thinks I'm dead and I can trap her. After the trap was complete, I stood on guard all night and all day during day 73 and I finally saw what looked to be Nicole coming from the distance. I knew this was my only shot to trap her, so I went down into my secret tunnel, placed a carpet to block my head, and waited patiently to hear her opening the chest. After waiting patiently, I heard Nicole walking and she opened up the chest and I opened up the trap and there we go.
What is this place? Where am I?
Hello there, Nicole. It's nice to see you again.
Painful? I thought, wait, you should be dead.
Unfortunately for you, I'm very good at surviving. Welcome to your new home, though. You're gonna be here for quite a while.
Please don't leave me in here.
See ya!
After having Nicole trapped, I felt pretty good about myself. I felt very safe, so I figured I'd use these next 4 days to start building and finishing our entire base. As you can see, I stuck with the wood type theme to this base. I don't know, I kind of felt like I was in some sort of log house, so I just kind of rolled with it. As you can see, it took quite a while to get the roof done, but I figured this type of roof would look really good and it would kind of really complete the log cabin look. After completing the exterior of my base, including the balcony and the roof, I went ahead and created a nice netherwort farm, wheat farm, and melon farm on the outside. And now that things are finally starting to come together, I figured now was a great time to finally create my empowered flame blade. That's right, using the warden tier and the phoenix wings, I was able to create the empowered flame blade. And using the phoenix hide combined with my armor, I was able to create ashen phoenix armor. And after I equipped all of my ashen phoenix armor, I look absolutely insane. This ashen phoenix armor is gonna make me pretty overpowered. And as you see, when I walked outside, I shift right click and I can actually launch a huge fireball every 5 seconds. I also get permanent speed 2, regeneration, and fire resistance. Now that I was prepared for battle, I headed out to go to Striker the End Colossus mansion that we went to earlier. On day 84, I arrived at what seemed to be the place, but it seemed to be in complete shambles. I went down to get a closer look and it looks like this entire thing must have been like exploded by TNT or something. I'm not entirely sure why, but I have a good feeling that Striker the End Colossus may be trying to like run away or hide since I captured Nicole. I decided to dedicate another 3 days in attempts of finding Striker. He couldn't have gone too far. And on day 89, while traveling through a field, I saw some sort of massive build rendering in. I needed to get a closer look. This place is absolutely huge. Wait, is that Fred?
Fred, I actually have good news. I eliminated Fury the Flame Phoenix. You don't actually need to run anymore.
Really? Thank you so much, Painful.
I'm looking for Striker the End Colossus. He moved locations after I trapped his friend Nicole.
Ah, yes, Striker. I never liked that guy. Last time I checked, he resided in the far south end of the planet. Are you sure you want to fight him? He's really powerful.
Yes, some things have to be done, and he seems to be nothing but bad news and is the main route to a lot of the evil on this planet. I'll see you later, Fred.
Break a leg.
And just like that, I traveled for the next 4 days to the south end of the planet in attempts of finding Striker the End Colossus. And on day 95, after days of traveling, I swam up to the surface and I found this little sandstone portal. And before I entered, I somehow lost a bunch of XP. I'm not too sure how that happened. Anyways, I went through the portal and noticed Striker the End Colossus was at the top of my screen. After looking around, I didn't see anything, and when I turned to the right, I saw Striker the End Colossus. And he was going straight for me. I initiated this fight by launching a fireball at him and getting a couple hits, but he seemed to stomp on me, which knocks me back and does quite a bit of damage. After getting a few more hits, he did another stomp and a fire wave came out of the ground. What in the world was that? I continued the pursuit and he launched another fire wave, which luckily missed me. That thing looks like it's gonna do quite a lot of damage. I then backed up and saw a bunch of fire spitting around everywhere. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I then saw the fire connect to each other and a fire elemental formed. I figured it's probably the better idea to take down these fire elementals before any more spawn. They probably would get pretty annoying if there was a bunch of them, so I figured I'd take them out first. And after eating some food to regenerate, I went back in and got a pretty good amount of damage, launched a fireball, and he suddenly flew up in the air, and these purple spikes came out of the ground. I wasn't really sure what they do. Anyways, disregarding the spikes, I went back in, and I've already got the striker down to half HP. He launched me all the way up in the air, and thankfully for this water bucket, I survived the fall. As I was charging back in, I noticed another fire elemental had just formed behind him and started using a flamethrower attack on me. And after getting a bunch of hits on this fire elemental, I was able to take that thing down. I went back in for another hit, and he kicked me back and used a fire wave, and I landed on 1 HP. After healing up, I charged back in, dodging the wave, and unleashed an insane amount of damage, nearly eliminating Striker. He then went up in the air and smashed the ground, but I luckily blocked my shield, so it didn't do much damage. After water bucket clutching, I went back in and finally eliminated Striker the End Colossus. Now that was a pretty insane fight. I then said goodbye to this end dimension and spent the next 3 days traveling back to my base. And on day 100, I made it back to base. Don't forget to check out my merch in the description below, only available for 1 week. See you in the next one.